Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into what might just be the absolute greatest, most intense heist story ever recorded. We're looking at an ancient text from the Astaka Parva of the Mahabharata. We're going to break down this ultimate mythological heist, step by step, and examine exactly how one legendary figure managed to pull off what was literally considered impossible.
Seriously, think about it for a second. How do you actually steal from the gods? Our protagonist today is Garuda, the king of birds, and he is on a mission to steal the amrita, or the soma. But listen, this isn't some simple smash and grab. The amrita is protected by an all-powerful celestial security force. Garuda is attempting an impossible break-in against the most heavily guarded vault in the entire universe.
And look, if you think this was going to be some stealthy, quiet operation where no one gets hurt, you might want to think again. The ancient text gives us this visceral detail right from the jump. Blood began to flow copiously from the bodies of the gods. I mean, that sets the stakes incredibly high right out of the gate. This heist is going to get violent, and the immortals themselves are going to bleed.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. The ultimate celestial heist.
Just look at this matchup. On one side, we have a literal pantheon of gods armed to the teeth. They're wielding electric fire, double-edged broadswords, iron maces with sharp spikes, pointed lances, and sun-shaped discuses. It's an insane arsenal. And on the other side, we've got Garuda, armed with, well, his talons, a beak, and wings. It kind of highlights the utter absurdity of this whole situation, doesn't it? It's a heavily armed celestial army going up against a single intruder who is relying on absolutely nothing but his bird anatomy.
But here's the thing, Garuda doesn't just rely on brute strength. He actually executes a highly specific four-step strategy. First, he's going to raise a dust storm. Second, dive bomb the Celestials in the confusion. Third, douse the protective fire. And finally, shrink down to infiltrate the vault. It is an absolute masterclass in overcoming insurmountable odds using lateral thinking and environmental tactics rather than just charging in blindly.
Moving right along to Section 2, blinding the heavenly guards. So, as soon as he arrives, the gods actually begin to quake with fear. The very first guard he encounters is Brahmana, the celestial architect. Now, Brahmana is a being of measureless might, effulgent as electric fire. But in a terrific encounter that lasts only a single moment, Garuda uses his talons, beak, and wings, and leaves Brahmana dead on the field. Then he initiates step 1 of the plan, making the worlds dark with the dust raised by the hurricane of his wings. He completely overwhelms the immortals guarding the amrita, blinding them with this immense hurricane of dust until they literally swoon away.
But, these are heavenly guards we're talking about, so they're highly organized. The god of 1,000 eyes issues a command directly to Vayu, the mighty god of wind, to dispel this blinding shower of dust. And it works. The wind god successfully drives away the darkness, clearing the air so the Celestials can finally see their target and launch a coordinated counterattack.
Which brings us to Section 3, the Clash of Gods.
As the dust clears, you'd think Garuda might retreat, right? Absolutely not. Instead, he roars aloud like a great cloud at the end of the Yuga, frightening every creature in existence. He rises on his wings. The wise ones, led by Indra, unleash this devastating celestial arsenal right at him. We're talking double-edged broadswords, spiked iron maces, pointed lances, bright arrows, and multiple sun-shaped discuses raining down on Garuda. It is an overwhelming, unbelievable display of firepower. Yet, Garuda, blazing in the sky, fights back fiercely, attacking the gods on all sides with just his wings and breast. He doesn't waver for a single moment.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer scale of Garuda's victory here. He completely overpowers this divine army, literally scattering the gods retreating to the four corners of the universe. The Sadyas and Gandharvas are pushed eastwards. The Vasus and Rudras flee towards the south. The Adityas retreat to the west, and the twin Ashwins run towards the north. Just like that, Garuda has single-handedly broken the main celestial defense.
Next up, Section 4, defeating the Yaksha army.
Because Garuda now encounters the next layer of vault security, a fierce army of Yakshas. These are absolute legends like Ashwakranda, Krathanaka, Uluka, and Pulina. These aren't just standard foot soldiers, they are bold, courageous warriors of great might who step right up to stop the Ranger of the Skies from getting any closer to the Amrita.
The text actually describes Garuda fighting these Yakshas like he's the world-ending Siva himself. And the aftermath? It is brutal. Mangled all over by Garuda, the Yakshas look like masses of black clouds dropping thick showers of blood. He uses his wings, talons, and beak to mangle these warriors of great might, decisively depriving them of life. So the physical guards, completely neutralized.
Finally, we reach Section 5, breaching the wall of fire. He finally spots the amrita, the ultimate prize. But there's a catch. It's surrounded on all sides by terrible flames that cover the entire sky. Moved by violent winds, these flames seem bent on burning the sun himself. It's a terrifying, sky-covering elemental barrier. It's effectively a localized apocalypse protecting the soma. So how exactly do you put out an apocalyptic fire? Well, the illustrious Garuda playfully solves this by assuming 90 times 90 mouths. Yep, that's 8,100 mouths. He quickly flies off to drink up the waters of multiple rivers, returning with immense speed. Using his wings for a vehicle, he releases all that water and acts as an unimaginably massive celestial fire extinguisher.
And this right here brilliantly illustrates the final, most crucial part of Garuda's tactical genius. The massive fire is gone, but instead of marching into the vault as a gargantuan river-drinking titan, he extinguishes the fire and assumes a very small form. He deliberately shrinks down to become a tiny infiltrator, desirous of finally entering the place where the soma is kept.
Which leaves us with a really fascinating question to ponder. We just witnessed an incomprehensible display of overwhelming, brutal strength against entire armies of gods. Brute strength is what got him to the door. But what does a very small form find waiting inside the vault? To steal from the gods, it turns out you need both the ultimate power to break the defenses and the subtle intellect to know exactly when to become tiny. Keep thinking about that balance of power and strategy, and thank you so much for exploring this epic celestial heist with me.